Hello friends, today we will look into an interesting story which revolves around the conversation between a jnani and the siddha. Prabhulinga, the founder of the Lingayat sect, was touring the land for the upliftment of the spiritually minded people. He met the famous yogi Gorakhnath in Gokarnam. The yogi welcomed him respectfully, but was however proudly conscious of his own extraordinary powers over the elements. He considered his guest more or less his equal, expressed pleasure at meeting him, and upon greeting him, asked who he was. Prabhulinga replied that only the one who had destroyed his ego, root and branch, and who had thereby realized himself, could know who he was, and wondered what he could say to a non-entity, a person who clung to his perishable body. Gorakhnath, who identified his body as himself, replied, "That person alone who has gained the immortality of the body by the favor of Shiva and consumption of gulikas, which means the medicinal herbs, will never die. Therefore, one who had not gained such immortality dies." Prabhulinga remarked that knowledge consists in realizing oneself and not in immortalizing the body, and went on to explain at length that the body cannot be the real self. However, Gorakhnath could not be persuaded and would not budge an inch from his ground. He proudly challenged Prabhulinga to try cutting his body, handing him a long, bright and sharp sword. When the sword struck the body of Gorakhnath, it caused him no injury, but was itself blunted. Prabhulinga, to his surprise, and asked Gorakhnath to try cutting his body. At first, Gorakhnath hesitated to do so, saying that Prabhulinga would die. But when Prabhulinga insisted, he took up the sword and tried to cut his body. To the great surprise of Gorakhnath, the sword passed easily through the body of Prabhulinga without affecting it in any way. It was as if the sword was passing through an empty space. Only then Gorakhnath, the siddha, ready to acknowledge the superiority of Prabhulinga, the jnani. Thus his pride was humbled, and he prayed to Prabhulinga to teach him the truth. Prabhulinga then expounded the Brahma Vidya to Gorakhnath as follows. Gorakhnath, do not think your body to be yourself. Seek the indweller, and you will once for all rid yourself of the disease of birth and death. The cave is your heart only. The indweller thereof is called God, and I am that. Hope you would all enjoy the story. Thank you.